A lot of times we miss our blessings because we block them. Much as I know, right? Now I have to go back and say, but how long did it take me to learn this? Two people, one brain. Most things that I thought were facts were just things that my mother and father taught me.
If you want to learn as fast as you can, bring people together.
Oops, did I just drop my G? Do you see how we just moved in unison? Did you see that? You have to allow life to happen to you so you can experience.
What's a voice that you've been hearing since you were a kid that's never left?
That's a great damn question. You can do it voice. And that's the one that scares me the most. How to keep that childlike mindset, because that's really what makes us continue to grow. That constant voice, that constant curiosity. We discovering shit. My God, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. But just knowing that was the child version of me always reminded me. And why I've always been silly and I find jokes and everything.
Like, what percentage of the time when you engage in those jokes do people laugh?
I would say 99% of the time. And even if they don't catch it right away, we'll be working and I'll just say something really slick in the moment. And the meeting will go on and then somebody in the meeting go, wait a minute. What did you just say 10 minutes ago?
10 minutes.
And I'm like, it'll hit them.
That's extreme delay.
Yeah, no, that's extreme delay. Then after people know me, they go, oh, what did you mean by that?
I gotta sit in your meetings and study because, like, 10% of the time people get my stuff. I have to say something.
Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know if you just heard what I just said, and then they think about it and they say, oh, yeah, that was.
But that was me when I met you.
Yeah, literally.
But once
I'm not delivering it right, I guess.
No, it's not that you're not delivering it. People don't expect that from you.
Maybe it's just I'm not funny.
You look innocent. No, you look. It's like me. I look very innocent. I'm a very innocent, calm demeanor. But when people get to really know me,
you're a dick.
They know I'm a dick. I'm sarcastic.
He's paying me a lot to produce this show.
Exactly. I am sarcastic as hell. I can be a little bit rude. I can be condescending sometimes, but it's all in fun. My sexual mind is insane, but once people know that, then they know what to expect from me. Or they'll say something to me, something like, oh, let me put this hot dog in the bun, and like something simple, and then they'll look and they're like, oh, I done said this in front of Lucky, and because they know my mind is thinking something crazy, outlandish when they just say, let me put the hot dog in the bun. And I go, oh, and I just tilt my head. I won't even say anything. I just go like this, and they go, and they won't even look. They be like, I'm not looking at you, Lucky, because I already know you're looking at me crazy. So once people get to know you, like I got to know you, they will learn to expect those funny things.
Where did you get that from? Was it like a friend or like a family member or like a TV show? Like,
you know what? Shout out to the Golden Girls, because I do get a lot of my humor, I think, from the Golden Girls.
What is their humor like? Is it like that?
It's like sarcastic, dry, crazy humor. But I also think I got it from being a kid, and it was part of my defense mechanism as a kid. I was very thin and very skinny, so I wasn't gonna beat you up, even though I would try, but I could say something that'll cut you to shreds. And the things that some of my friends told me I've said to them over the years in kindergarten, really? Shout out to my homegirl, Valina. I gotta tell this story. Valina said, we were in junior high school, 5th or 6th grade. So I'm sending this note around to the girls. You send a note says, if you like me, check yes, check no. Mm-hmm. So we sent that, and they sent it back, and then she sent it out to the guys. You just check yes, check no. She said, motherfucker, you were the only one that wrote notes. I said, wrote notes? I said, well, she said, yes. He said, you wrote in the box, yes, you're cute, but you would be cute if you did your hair more. I said, Valina, I said that. She's like, she said, you was a mean little bastard. She said, but you was always honest. You would just say whatever you felt. And that's some real shit. And I was like, oh my God. And when I would talk to my friends throughout the years, it was like, yeah, you were always like that, just your mouth.
I feel like kids have a lot to teach us. There's so much that you can learn just from spending time with them, playing with them, listening about how they talk through things and how they feel about when someone hurt their feelings, just saying exactly how they felt.
The most harmful thing on the planet is a child that has been forced into a box to not explore themselves and grow. And I was one of those kids, but I just had a lot of outlets. So I was lucky to break free from the box because I would have teachers and people in my neighborhood who would see me, and when I would go to their place, I could be me. So I had those outlets, but all kids don't have that. But a child who is forced into a box and not allowed to express themselves, to me, those are landmines that we plant all over the world,
Yeah.
that we end up seeing the results in later in life. And I watched that happen in my own household because I know who I am now, but I also know what I could have been if I didn't find those outlets to release and find my freedom and find my voice, trust myself, find comfortability, to be comfortable in my awkwardness, to be comfortable in not knowing who I was, to be okay with understanding that I may find it at 20, I may find it at 30, I may find it at 40, I may still be looking for it at 46. Hello. And I know I'm 47 now, I keep forgetting. Add the extra number, 47. Not allowing our kids to fully be expressive. That's why I say this is another thing that's going to be harmful to people, but I don't care. It needs to be said. But sometimes parents can be the worst dream killers because they're forcing doctrines on kids based on their experience, which I understand. Because especially if they had a hard life, there's certain things, especially growing up as a black kid, certain things we need to teach our kids so they can survive. But because of those things sometimes too, we hinder them and put them into a box and don't allow them to touch, feel, smell, scratch, sniff, just to explore life, to figure things out on their own. Sometimes they can also be too long of a leash. Where they just let them go one wild and free, and that's also not healthy. So finding that balance is what helped me get through life. I had a strict household at home. My grandparents were very ruled with iron fists, very brutally, very harshly. But outside of that, shout out to Danny again, and his mom, Denise, who loved on me. Belina, his mom, my teachers at 166 Junior High School and my elementary school, 35X, some of my teachers at DeWitt Clinton High School. Those people loved on me, so I was able to see that even though I was going through this crazy experience at home and being physically, sexually abused, but being able to go into the real world and know that there were beautiful people that actually cared for me, gave me a balance that I know most kids didn't get to see, which is why I was able to kind of maneuver and become who I am today.
You recently had an experience at a high school where you were in a classroom with a bunch of students who had their heads down. Why did you even do that in the first place? And what came out of that experience?
That was a beautiful experience. Yeah, I came into the situation, just a friend of mine, shout out to Flora and Bronx Fashion Week team. They asked me to come out and speak to the kids about entrepreneurship and about what it's like to be in fashion. Because I've done some consulting work. I'm not a fashion expert by any means, but I've been able to dibble and dabble in the space. Shout out to the real professionals, my brother Eli Carlisle, Ty Hunter, the ones who really do this work. But I was able to come into the class with the students. Their heads were kind of down because I was late, first of all. But I walked in, I greeted them, I hugged them and shook everybody's hand. And we did talk about fashion and what I've done in my career, the great people I've worked with, how I built my business. But I wanted to talk to them about real life too, about the things they should know, about survival, about connecting with people, about building relationships. And
Why is that important?
about building relationships, because that's more than your wealth. That's the real source of wealth, is your health and the people you know, your community that you build, because those can be great resources. So I told them to also look around them, look at the people they're connected to, who they're hanging with. In that circle, who's growing with you? Because if people are not growing with you or not growing themselves, then that means you're one of the people in the circle that is not growing. So where do you want to plant yourself? Where the soil is fertile so that you can grow as well, and where other people are growing. And you want to be around other people. If you in a field and you see a tree growing over there, you want to be where that tree is because you know that land is fertile. You know that tree is growing. You see the leaves flowing. So you can find your own soil. You're not going to be in the exact same spot, but the closer you are in proximity to success and people who are building brands and building businesses, that means you're obviously one of the next in line, unless just something crazy happens, which life happens to us all. But you have to put yourself in the position to be successful by putting yourself around other people that have seen success. You can't say you want to build this dream, build this castle, but you're hanging on the corner every day with people who are just selling drugs or just doing crazy things.
People are, I think also the reason that's important is they're gonna tap you on the shoulder and say, "Lucky, you should be doing this," or "I can see you doing that." They'll plant seeds, maybe even validate thoughts that you've had before, and hopefully every now and then you come across someone who will call you out on something that some might call bullshit.
That is a must.
Why is it a must?
If you're in a circle of people who are telling you everything you do is great, run. I'm telling you, run right now. Get your bags and run to the nearest door, because there's no way in hell that everything you do is perfect.
Nope.
And I'm talking to you as a person who has made 20 million mistakes. And one of the greatest pieces of advice I got, and one of the best mentors I ever had, actually turned his back on me with the intent of telling me that's what he was doing. He said, "Look, Lucky, I love you, but now I have to let you go because you keep bringing me opportunities that are good in theory, but you don't, do you even know what my business does? Have you studied what I do?" He said, "Because if you knew me and what I built, you would know these people are not a fit for me. Some of them are a fit for me, but you would know, and you're not paying attention. You're just trying to make connections, but you're not focused, and you're not doing it the right way. And until you can approach me the right way, we're going to have to stop communicating until you understand the value of being connected to me." In that moment, I sat with myself. It hurt me. But I know that this man is one of the most loving people I know. And I said, let me sit back and think about why he's telling me this. And then I began to look at all the people I brought to him. And I would say out of 20 people I brought to him, 2 fit his business moniker. 2 fit into what he was doing and the lane that he was in that would have made sense. But even they weren't good enough clients because of the level he was. And I know these people couldn't afford him. I had to rethink what I thought was good business. 'Cause I was approaching it from me just wanting to be a good person and me just wanting to bring people together, but that's not enough. That's not enough, because you have to respect both sides of the fence. You have to respect, number one, the person who is the contact, who is the plug, who is the person that can bring the validity to the situation, which was my mentor. And then the person that I'm bringing to them, I have to respect what they want to achieve, but also have to respect and remember what level they are at, and if they deserve or should they meet this person. Not deserve, because everybody deserves to meet whoever they need to meet. But at the same time, there are levels to the game, and what level are they ready to be introduced into? Are they serious? Have they done their work to even meet this person? And those were the things I wasn't doing my due diligence, to make a long story short. And once I made that correction and started to really think about who I was connecting and why, and being respectful of other people's time and being respectful of the legacy they were building and bringing people into their legacy that really would add value and not take away, my whole life changed and how I did business changed as a whole.
Wow, that is very insightful. I'm like literally processing the people that I'm connecting with others, and it's making me want to be more mindful, because it's their time too. Even if they don't end up working together, it's their time that they're spending. You want to be reliable, and I want people to feel they can come to me and I'm gonna get the job done, but also that they can trust that anybody I send their way is gonna be a good conversation for them to have.
I was forgetting that all these millionaires and billionaires and these successful businessmen, yes, they would, like, I didn't realize the privilege that I had, the fact that they, number one, they take my call anytime I call. Anytime I set up a meeting, they find 20, 30 minutes to make it happen. And these are men running multi-million-dollar firms.
And what about you do you feel makes them want to take that time for you?
Initially, because they saw my potential. They saw the work that I was doing, so they believed in me and the work that I have done for them. But at the same time, I had to remember that that wasn't enough, because you're only as good as the last thing you've done to most people. And how did I want to be remembered in their eyes was my next question. Did I want to be remembered as the person who just connected them to a lot of people that were cool people and they got to have fun with these people? Or the person who connected them to the people of value that allowed them to do great business? Am I a party planner or am I a businessman?
So being a lot more intentional
Yes.
with what you're doing. I noticed that not everyone is as intentional with their actions and what they say or share. I like to think that I tried to do that, because the last thing that I want is to show up on a call where I'm supposed to be guided through something and I'm the one who's like telling them what to do and how to do it. I like people who can lead and step in and be intentional and very specific.
But sometimes you have to realize that's you.
Yeah. Is that something that you developed over time?
It's something I developed, and it's something that made me uncomfortable, because I always was, a lot of times I would put my clients together or put people together in the same room because I'm like, oh, yeah, I could do this job, but I know somebody who could do it expertly and do it such a high level that it would put me to shame is what I felt. But not realizing that the client's like, yeah, I know these people who can do all this great, but I want it to be you. And I had to realize that sometimes people were willing to be patient for me to learn the job because they just wanted my energy aligned with the project. And sometimes I would put somebody who was an expert in, but they just didn't fit. No matter how much they knew, they didn't fit the client's needs, they didn't fit the client's aesthetic, they didn't fit the client's lifestyle as far as where it comes to the way they like to do business. But they were willing to let me learn and teach me, but me having respect for their business and wanting them to just get the best service right away led me to lose opportunities that were literally just meant for me because they believed in me more than I believed in myself in that moment. They would trust in me knowing that I didn't know. Like, I don't think people understand that's a powerful place to be.
I've I've been on like calls every day all day the past week, and I'm pretty sure at least like a dozen times a day I've said I have no idea, but I'm gonna figure it out. Mm-hmm. And first of all, the amount of relief that I feel like admitting that and saying that, it sets me free, and then it makes the other person trust me even more and feel even better. And it's just like, it's so many good things come out of that. No one wants someone who knows all the answers. I tell everyone that I don't have all the answers, but I'm gonna connect with people who do, who have experience. I'm gonna learn from them. I'm gonna ask for advice, and figure this out together. So that alone, I feel like, has gotten me into the spaces that people feel like, you know what, I trust this guy, I like this guy.
Because they're all looking at you like, I remember when that was me.
That's exactly what they say. They always, yeah. You remind me of when I was, how
Exactly. And they want to work with you because they know that's what it takes to really be an entrepreneur, to build something.
This is the goal. Like, this is the goal. If I was talking to myself even a year ago, but like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it's admit as much as you can that you have no fucking idea what you're doing.
Yes.
To as many people as you can in as many different buckets of your life as you can. Relationships, finances. And I just had a call with a accountant, and the first thing I did on the call with that guy was thank him for his time and said, look, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I've just made a lot of mistakes in the past, and I'm still cleaning some of those mistakes up. I just painted exactly where I was so they can see everything and be able to help you properly too.
Yes.
So it goes both ways. Helping others, admitting and being helped. I have no idea, help.
And see, that's another thing. When there are delays or anything that happens where there's a hiccup, they can trust you more because you are honest with them up front. So they already know that you don't know and that you're figuring things out. And as long as you keep them abreast of the situation and up to date with what you're learning and how you're developing and you're actually growing, it makes you worth the gamble in the long run. And this is what I had to realize. So many situations, again, I put other people before me, but instead of trusting myself and doing the work to just learn, and just push myself a little bit harder. And when I started to do that, the whole world opened up to me. And that's how I ended up in the position I'm in now with the cyber company.
No matter the situation, people have always met me, I would say, where I'm at.
Yep.
You can't take that for granted. Like, show your appreciation and put in the work, even more work than, they're asking for, to just follow through. Being very open and transparent, it's like impossible not to win in anything that you're doing. Personal relationships. I feel like relationships can be sometimes hard to be very transparent.
But I feel like the more transparent you are, especially early in the beginning, the better you both are. But it is hard because you're both coming into those personal relationships, even personal friendships, whether it's a love relationship, you're both coming in with your own bias of what you know about relationships. So coming into relationships and kind of leaving those things at the door and saying, okay, this is what I feel about relationship, this is what you feel, and then kind of finding your own way to weave something together that's unique for you guys. That's what I always suggest to a lot of couples. Don't listen to what I do in my relationship. It could be a goal for you, but figure out what works for you, and that goes for anything, whether it's love relationship, personal, friends, brothers, family, or in business. Honesty and transparency, the more you reveal in that aspect, the better it is for everybody around.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned about relationships?
Forgiveness. Because for you to move forward, and understand that everything ain't personal and that you don't understand why people make decisions, and even some of the most horrible decisions that have been made towards you or in your life. If you don't fully understand the person's background and experience, let it go. You really don't know what people are going through. And I think about that because I know some of the harsh decisions that I've had to make through business that was literally just because it was a tough business decision, or it was going to affect my family, or it was going to affect my livelihood. Certain things you just have to do, and it affects so many other people, and they don't get that. But I had to learn to forgive myself, which allowed me to learn to forgive others. So I figured out that forgiveness and not carrying the load,
Yeah.
that gave me more freedom and the ability to also be more forgiving in the deals that I was doing. Even if it felt personal, I was able to wash it away. And it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm still a work in progress.
It's been an hour and a half, and we're gonna wrap up the show.
Oh, yes.
We're filming wherever we go. I mean, we're in a nice gym, but we could be driving somewhere. We could be walking. We could be, sitting in bathroom stalls. It doesn't matter. You know what? We should do one. Should do one where we're on the stalls and there's a camera on both, or at the urinals.
Bro, that would be hilarious. I see, he's crazy like me. So you never know where we're coming from.
Never know where you gotta tune in for the videos if you're not already.
I love that idea.
Right?
Yeah.
I would actually do that.
I would 100%. You crazy? My friends will
would
tell
that
you
be like?
I am crazy.
You just hear like a stream going on in the background.
And the flushing, oh my God. We love you guys. Even if you don't love us, we love you.
Yes, we do.
And thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode. Shout out to my
What brand is that?
Platinum Jiu-Jitsu, my brother Sean. I'm wearing his brand.
Love this.
Yes, man, this thing is so warm. All I need is my jacket that I have. And mind you, today it's 16 degrees outside, but it feels like 0 degrees because of the wind chill.
Oh my God.
And I was sweating in this thing.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's amazing. Where can you get that?
On platinumjujitsu.com.
We're gonna have to get an affiliate link.
The
or
link
something.
below.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you guys next time on the Lucky Sergio Show.
Yes. Pinky and the Brain. We out.
All right, guys. See you in the next one.
Pinky and the Brain.
What does that mean? Pinky in the brain.
It was 2 lab mice, and one was called Pinky and one was called the Brain. Let's put him on the Pinky and the Brain.
What time is it?
10 a.m.
How long ago?
Over an hour.
Really?
Over an hour, yeah.
What time did we?
Like it was like 5, 4, 10, or 4:15.
Holy no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
That's every time, y'all.
That's crazy.
Sweet, that's what you're doing. That's how you do it.
You're gonna love Pinky and the Brain.